It is so hot outside in this Texas summer sun, it's killing all of our cars. And to demonstrate this, I bet you by the time we're done filming this entire video, we can successfully cook an egg in this pan just using the Texas sun. So let's get started. You can't forget. This one. And done. We're currently in the middle of July in Texas, which is arguably the worst month for all Texans, as it is a constant 100 degrees almost every day. And not only is it taking a physical toll on everybody here in Texas, it's also hurting all of our cars too. And over the past couple of weeks alone, we've had 25% of our fleet have minor AC issues, with 4 of those cars needing a full AC overhaul. One of which we just got done with, Aubrey's 4Runner. 10 minutes into a 40-minute drive, the AC decided to quit working on Aubrey's trusty old 4Runner with 326,000 miles on the clock. This is the original AC system in this thing, and it finally decided to go. Some would say that's long overdue, but I'd say it should have held out just a little bit longer.
Until fall.
At least until fall. But I ended up having to replace the entire compressor, and then I found, well, if I'm replacing the compressor, might as well replace everything else. So it has a brand new condenser, compressor, evaporator core, and expansion valve, along with every single seal in this 4Runner. And I just got it topped off today with a brand new dryer as well. This thing is icy cold. You can tell which parts are new inside the grill because of the way that they are, nice and shiny. Now I got the AC kit actually from Rock Auto. I got the evap core from O'Reilly's, and I ended up getting an evac and recharge from Firestone. All parts and labor included, $450 to get this thing back on the road. But if it lasts another 27 years, I think I'd be happy with that. Now the Ranger is also on the fritz as well. At idle, it's starting to have a bit of hot air blowing, but once you start driving, it cools off nicely. That sounds like a problem for next year. Woo! Why did you summon me here? I was in the middle of a Playgirl shoot, doing my best work. It's hot. Now this is our 07 Focus, one of our oldest cars on the platform, and while we were out of town a few weeks ago, it started having some minor AC issues. I actually had Michael take it over to our local shop, and they suggested replacing the condenser and replacing an inline filter. Now, I had my hands tied behind my back. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to be able to diagnose it myself, and I said, why not? Let's go ahead and delegate this work out. Well, $500 later, and it's broken again. So now I just decided, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Time to replace everything. Now with that filter being replaced and it's getting clogged up again, I just had the shop take all the Freon out of the system. That way I can put a new filter in, and I can put a new compressor in and a new expansion valve and get this thing back on the road, because it is way too hot to be having intermittent problems in this vehicle. Now you may not be able to tell over the other side of this camera, but it is extremely hot in this vehicle, and the air coming out of these vents is somehow hotter than the air is outside. I'm kind of concerned with how long Aubrey and I can stay in here without dying. Now with the condenser already replaced, all I have to do is replace the filter again, a new compressor, all the seals, and a new expansion valve. Hopefully we can get out of this car without spending any more than $350 with the new AC top off. Now you might be thinking, we just changed the interior of this Ford Focus we're in. You'd be wrong. We're just in an entirely different Ford Focus that also has AC issues. This is our 2010 Ford Focus, and this thing was doing great until one day it just stopped blowing cold air completely. Turns out that the pressure had been completely depleted out of this vehicle. We had no reason why, but we've already addressed it, and let me tell you what we did. Now thankfully this one was relatively cheaper than our other vehicles, and we didn't have to replace much. We found out after putting some dye and checking with a special UV flashlight that we're having a lot of our Freon leak out of this port right here. So as you can tell with this UV flashlight, it's all highlighting green. This is actually where I was having all of the Freon leak right back out of this port after topping it off. Now at most shops, they actually recommend doing this first before replacing every single part. This UV flashlight emits a special UV light that reflects off of the special UV dye that they added into the system. That way we could see across any line and any seal if the AC refrigerant was leaking out of that area. So if you ever start experiencing some AC issues and your vehicle is leaking out some refrigerant, try using a dye kit first. You can find a lot of them at O'Reilly's, or even your local repair shop can fill it up with dye. You can buy these flashlights from your local auto repair store for about $10, and then you yourself at nighttime can go in the engine bay and start a little treasure hunt. Now we did install the new evap core, and hopefully this is going to be the end of our problems with this vehicle, and we're going to be test driving it over the next few days to make sure it is permanent fix. Let's go check on our egg. Okay, so maybe it didn't cook all the way, but maybe you like your eggs rare, and I think that's actually pretty cooked if you ask me. I think we just ran out of daylight.
That looks super gross.
I mean, it's pretty egg-like. Delicious. Well, there you guys have it. It's very hot in Texas, and Aubrey is counting the days until fall. But as always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode.